Hello and welcome to another update video about LINK. LINK continues to be caught in this current wave 4 correction. Interesting developments here on the chart. We still have our WXY structure that is probably still unfolding within a wave 4 correction. So remember that we talked about this third wave top here in November, and then that the correction would take quite a while. And to be honest, since I've mentioned that, a month has passed, and basically we haven't moved. Surely the price did move down a bit, moved up a bit, moved down a bit. So not really any progress in the chart. Progress is really only possible in 5-wave movements in the market structure. 3-wave movements are just correcting. They don't really lead to any progress in the chart. So we are watching for the continuation to the upside in a 5th wave, but it might be that we have to be a little bit more patient here until this correction is finished. The market has reacted to a very interesting level. I shared that level with you in one of the previous videos, I think the last one here, which is the 100% extension level, slightly above it. How do we measure that? Well, we took the length of the wave W and compared it with the length of the wave Y, and often these have the same length. So does it mean the correction is finished? Well, honestly, it could be. We have enough waves. We have a wave W, we have an X wave, and we have a Y wave. We only need 3 waves in a correction. And it reacted basically, well, okay, it didn't quite get there. I think it missed it by like 20 cents or something. But it basically reached the 100% extension level here at $13.50. So yeah, I mean, if it now shows an impulse, I'd be quite happy to say, okay, correction might be over. That would be a so-called running flat structure. However, I would need to see further evidence for that because, first of all, running flat structures are difficult structures to deal with. They are not the clearest of structures. And I would like to see at least an impulse or some, well, the problem is, again, next problem, because we are dealing with a larger diagonal pattern and the subwaves in these diagonal patterns are corrective, the 5th wave is likely going to be an ABC structure. So we don't necessarily have to expect an impulse, which will make it all very difficult. So therefore, I decided to use a grid bot myself, which has been grinding this area now for 4 weeks, quite successfully. So obviously, you have to manage expectations. Within a correction, profits aren't massive, but honestly, in a correction, most people who would trade this by hand would lose money because the benefit is that Elite Wave tells us we are in a correction or we're entering a correction. So just be careful. It's more about capital preservation. I found that grid bots manage these areas quite well, especially if you can find an area that an entry point that's not too high in this range, and then you just let it grid. And it's basically doing what I like to do manually as well, just on higher time frames, which is scaling into support with adjustable position size. The lower we go in the range, the higher the position size, and the higher we go, the more is being sold, taking profits. So it's sort of, been grinding that range now for a bit, day and night. And that's usually helpful in these areas of uncertainty where you basically don't really know when the correction is finished, okay? Because it could very well be that it's going to take off from here and break above 1830. That's when I will switch the grid bot off. That's my range. By the time it would have sold the entire position. But it's also possible, and that is my primary scenario, that we come down a little lower. And that's my thesis mainly because, yes, we have a WXY structure technically complete. In the Y wave, we have an ABC structure, so the C wave still has some space, The A wave is quite long compared to the length of the C wave, so it seems quite likely that the C wave will extend a little bit longer and that we might test those lower levels around 1288. That would be next support. 1275, it's good overlap there, good confluence of Fibonacci levels there, around 1270, 1280. Then we've got the 1.38 extension at 1231. And the 1.618 extension at $11.60. So there's some really clear levels to watch. and the 38.2 retracement level down there as well at $11. So further downside or already reversal, very hard to say. If I had to give you my view, I would say further downside until we see a first break above what I have labeled here as B-wave high at $15.56. That would at least be a first signal that things are changing. What we can also do in addition to that is to draw a trend line here. Well, that would really be the earliest signal that something might be changing on this chart, but really the earliest signal. So that's not really a significant breakout confirmation. Yeah, that's my update about Link. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.